stages in my 31 years of total cement experience. First, I would talk about our group. So our Ramco group is a $4 billion market cap, and annual revenue is $1 billion, having 14,000 employees. And we were the first ERP solution company in Asia. And we are the largest cement producer in India and most efficiently running spinning mills, textile, cement, building products, power, logistics, educational institutions, and software products. So now I will talk about what are the attributes required for efficient plant operation. So the various attributes are cost of finished product and semi-finished product, quality at each stage of production processes, and then project management, human capital management, health, environment and safety, governance and control. So what are the enablers? So enablers are ERP, optimized plans. It should be supported with timely decision making and informed decision making with critically analyzed data. Decision support system, and there should be a mechanism to per plan. We have to develop our workforce, synergizing all the functions, and paperless and seamless approval system, which we call as business process re-engineering. So when I say informed decision making with critically analyzed data, I mean something which I will explain in the next slides to come, and also I will explain manufacturing excellence. So here there is a matrix where you can see that enablers are stated on this side and various modules of ERP can be kept on this side. So there is a matrix and there is a legend saying that which are the modules of ERP which are highly relevant and which are just relevant. So this kind of matrix is developed for making a powerful ERP system, and this matrix will be different for different manufacturing setup. But coming back to my point, informed decision making with critically analyzed data, I would like to explain it that every morning at 8:40, our all data inputs are over, and at 9 o'clock, all my HODs are having feedback from the system, ERP system, with the help of SMS, email, and login, whatever way they can see that what went well and what did not went so well. So then this data is ready at 9 o'clock, and 9:30 when we meet for our production planning, we have all the inputs, critically analyzed inputs, which I will explain in next slides. So first question is why we need a powerful ERP. The answer is there is an intense competition. The competition is from the market which desires best quality product at the lowest cost. Now how to achieve it? See, in the cement manufacturing, around 60% to 70% of the cost is energy, whether it is thermal or electrical energy. So how well we utilize energy at the cheapest and lowest consumption level, that determines who will be the winner in the marketplace. Then comes the manufacturing excellence. When I say manufacturing excellence, it is required because every management continuously raise the bar of performance. So we have to perform best once and forever. Now I will explain what I mean by excellence. Excellence is a talent or quality which is unusually good, or it surpasses ordinary standards. When it is linked to manufacturing excellence, is the sustainable and continuous improvement of operations to reduce wastage, increasing profits, and gaining the winning edge over competition. Manufacturing excellence is an ongoing and never-ending process to improve our business. So in a nutshell, we can say having achieved once the top performance and repeating it again and again or surpassing it is manufacturing excellence, and our ERP package supports to achieve manufacturing excellence. What is our ERP? Our ERP is Ramco Enterprise Series 6.3 Service Pack, and it is compatible with Industry 4.2. Now I will talk about how our ERP architecture is. So you can see here, there is a corporate function, there is a plant operations, and then there is a plant management function. So then there are enterprise add-ons. So in our ERP, we have blending solution and also raw mills and kilns optimization softwares. Since it is a vast subject, my further presentation will be focused on cost and quality in the interest of time. So here we can see that how our system is designed. So at the foundation, it is safety. Then we have various modules, quality control, production module, maintenance module, materials module. But whatever best of the best systems you have, ultimately it has to be run by a human being. At the end of the day, it decides how well we train our human resource with the digitization. So that is why I have shown human capital management as an interlinking block for all the modules. So here when I was saying informed decision making, so here you can see at 9:30 meeting when we meet, we have the cost details of all the sections of the plant with an analyzed data that where the things went well and where things did not go so well. So this data helps us in drilling down and finding out the facts that where we were meeting with the target of manufacturing excellence or not. And the same today's data can be compared with previous week data or month data or financial year data that we call as internal benchmarking, means within the plant, but it can be compared with other plants also, which we call at external benchmarking. Now coming to the quality side of it, for ensuring the data input to the ERP, we have Optima pre-blending control system, and here we have cross-melt analyzer, and the data directly goes to the Optima pre-blending controls system, and then it goes to real-time integrator, and from there to ERP. This is before stacker and reclaimer. And then when we see the Optima blending control system, so we have XRF, benchtop, XRF, and all this data is integrated and going to Optima blending control system, and from there to real-time integrator. It is machine-to-machine communication, and there is nowhere manual human intervention. Same way the XRD is also linked. So all this data goes to ERP without any manual intervention. Now this is the form of capturing the quality of the cement mill hourly data. So you can see all the data, whatever is analyzed by the machines, XRF, XRD or whatever, it goes into the system and used for comparative analysis purpose, such as residue on 45 micron or 90 micron or IST or FST or insoluble residue. Now I would explain the industry 4.2. So we can see there is a pyramid where there is a base foundation where we have sensors such as online vibration monitoring or IMCC, IVFD, etc. The next level is having PLC, SCADA, DCS, distributed control system, and in our case we have EMS and LIMS. Then the next layer is advanced process control system, where we have Optima for kiln and mills. Now the data goes to ERP at the plant level, and from there it goes to ERP at the corporate level, and finally the data is used for business intelligence. So how it works? So when we get decision making at this level using support of artificial intelligence for process control. So we call our plant as a smart plant. So here the processes are controlled with the help of advanced process control. And then subsequently the final integration gives us data useful for intelligent enterprise. So what are the benefits for using advanced process control for kilns and mills? So these are minimum operator intervention, stable operation, consistency in cement and clinker quality, optimization of operations and thereby increasing productivity, and reduction in specific power consumption for mainly for fans and motors. So you can see when we say what are the benefits achieved using these parameters is increase in production, reduction in specific power consumption, and reduction in standard deviation of quality. And you can see our system, whatever we guarantee, we achieve more than that on annual basis. Now, how this advanced process control works. So here I am showing you the architecture of model predictive control system, which is enhancing our operations. So in a normal plant, we have plant and sensors, and all this data goes to PLC and SCADA, and from there it goes to OPC server, and from OPC server it goes to client. And the artificial intelligence for process decision making works with the help of estimator and regulator. You can see in this pyramid, so this side is bottom two layers of the digitalization, and here we have top two layers. So this data, how this works, estimator and regulator in MPC. So the estimator uses historical measurements and model to compute the most likely historical process trajectory and define future process parameters or future process anticipated results. So this you can see here in the past data is studied, and based on that it is derived if these are the process parameters, how it will be behaving in future. Or you can see it in this slide, this side of the slide, where in a normal plant operation where a CCR operator operate, it will operate always with the safe limits. Then we have targets. So when we don't have advanced process control system, there will be more variations. So to take care that the variation should not cross the limit, operator tends to operate things at a lower level. But when we have APC, which reduces variations, then the variations are very minimal. So it helps in bridging the gap between the limit and the target values with the help of reduced variations. We have energy management system, and here also the data flows from the EMS system to ERP system flawlessly, machine to machine. So here we have 22 zones in ring topology. You can see all these various sections of the plant, and these are all interconnected in ring topology using 13 kilometers of fiber optic cable. There are 35 data laggers and 450 energy meters. So the data from CCR, it flows to EMS server, and from EMS server it goes to local real-time integrator server, and then from cloud using cloud or VPN, it goes to corporate unit. So we have 10 units, so 10 units data goes to the corporate server, and then it is used for benchmarking purpose. So how it works? So as I said, there are 22 zones. So like this is zone number 2. So there are 31 energy meters in zone number 2, and all the data flows to a data logger, and from there it goes to a Ethernet switch, and this Ethernet switch of zone 2 is connected to zone 1 and also to zone 3, and then subsequently 3 is connected to 4 and up to 22. So all these data Ethernet switches are connected in the ring system. Then from this server the data goes to EMS server, and it goes to RTI server, and then finally to corporate data center. So when we have this database, with the help of ERP, we get a very classified report that how much power consumption was done. Now we get a final report like this before the 9:30 meeting, where we see that how much is the specific power consumption in each one of our sections. So this is an example how this EMS system benefits us. Like here, we analyze that our raw mill fan, which is consuming 42% of the power of the raw mill section, and we wanted to reduce the power consumption in raw mill. So we studied. So we found this, even if we can reduce fan power, we can definitely reduce the clinker power. So earlier our target was 6.2 kWh, but with the help of EMS critically analyzed data inputs, we could revise our target to 5.5, and we changed the fan with VFD, and we achieved 14.6% reduction in the power consumption. So this is one of the example that how we can conserve energy and move towards the green manufacturing. Then I will talk about the paperless approvals. Lot of management time is wasted while we do approval on physical basis. So we have an e-approval system where the documents are flowing in the software. So even the quotations are received in the soft form, comparative statements are made in the soft form in the system using ERP, and then the data flows from the lower level to the higher level to the approval level. And at each stage, there is a timing monitoring mechanism which finds out how much the document has taken at each stage. And then it is supported with SMS and email triggers where everybody ensures that he clears the paper on time. So this gives us a complete paperless approval system with the minimum human intervention and with a check that nowhere the time should be wasted. So this is a faster decision making. When I say informed decision making, this is also one of the example. Now I would talk about the business intelligence. In the business intelligence, you can see there is a page. This one page talks about the entire plant. You can see here that all these sections are running except this cement mill 2. So the full plant is running, both the kilns are running, packers are running, and I can see the main process parameters. And when it goes to the corporate level, so there are 10 plants connected. So 10 plants data pages are there at the corporate level. So this data can be used for business intelligence purpose. Now the same thing can be applied to logistics. So this is the example of business intelligence which we use for logistics. Like here I can see how many trucks have reported for taking out the cement and what are the varieties of the trucks, capacity of the trucks, then how many trucks have been loaded in how much time. Like in 0 to 1 hour, we have loaded 3 trucks, 1 to 3 hours, 1 truck. And so this way we find out that 3 trucks were loaded in 0 to 1 hour and 1 truck has taken more time. So these data is going for further analysis. Same way for our raw materials also, we keep a check that how many trucks have entered in the system, how many have gone out, how much was the average unloading time, how much was the waiting time. And so all this data is used for negotiating and getting the financial advantage while negotiating with the transporter or while negotiating with the suppliers. As I had told that our company works on the principle of right product for right application. So we have smart sensors for foolproof systems right from quarry to the dispatch lorry. Now how it works, like I told, there are 12 different types of cement in our plant. So we have to ensure that each lorry should have correct product and correct product quality and quantity. So this is ensured with the help of a RFID card. This card has all the details what is required, and if it does not matches, then the truck cannot move out. So our system is so perfect that with the help of RFID card, we ensure that the correct product goes to the customer. Now, how we can use this digital information for digital transformation purpose. So up till now, I had explained with the respect of smart plant. Now the business intelligence. Now in the business intelligence, the same modeling can be used for market prediction or theory of constraints modeling or market related decision which drives capacity expansion or new markets. Now, as I said that our human capital management is completely interlinked with all the modules of ERP. So we at Ramco are simplifying HR strategy by automating traditional HR transactions and driving business benefits. We believe that all our employees are having latent potential within that, and it is management responsibility to convert this latent potential to a talent. So how do we achieve this? So you can see in a normal base level HR module of any ERP, you can get things like facial recognition based attendance, historical pay slips, leave management. All those things are at a normal level of human capital management. But we have the advanced HCM module where our performance management system, skill upgradation, training need assessment, training calendar preparation, and training effectiveness evaluation, everything is integrated in our ERP. So what is the net benefit of this? I'm very happy to inform you that our employee turnover ratio is less than 1% because we get all the smart intelligence about training people and improving and sharpening their skills. This is one of the features of our plant. So, but with the help of ERP and the perfect business intelligence, we have been able to achieve various awards and accolades. Like we have got 4 Leaves Award from Center for Science and Environment. We are the only cement manufacturing company in India which has bagged this award. We have got Green Belt Development Award. We had planted 130,000 trees in the year 2020. And because of support of our ERP, we have bagged award on human resource, raw material, energy, environment, and production award from International Research Institute of Management. We, in India, the Confederation of Indian Industry is the most recognized and respected industrial body, and they have awarded us 18 times Excellent Energy Efficient Unit Award. And last 3 years, we have got National Energy Leader Award for 3 consecutive years. So this is the power of ERP, which we can utilize to the full extent with the support of digitalization and timely inputs to the relevant persons. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Ashish. That was a very inspiring presentation, and really congratulations on running such a well-recognized and efficient plant. It's really good to hear from your perspective as an actual practitioner running the plant itself. I guess you've been there since the whole installation of the systems. Where would you say is the top benefit for the systems now? Now looking over the whole production line, what's the one area that you see the most advantages?
As I said, that the cost and quality are the 2 blocks which are getting the maximum advantage. We get the analyzed data. With that, we get a better understanding and with the benchmarking, I can compare my plant operation with other plant operation in the group, or I can compare my operations with the best of the best plant in the world if we have the data inputs. So that is one part of it. But the real differentiator is that we always get real-time information, like how much is my cost per ton, how much is my contribution, how much is my contribution per bag, how much is my OEE. So all this data is available all the time, anytime I can check up, and SMS and emails are triggered at a regular intervals. So we are completely updated. So we are having 360-degree feedback of all our plant operations in a very intelligent manner. I had explained you this business intelligence, but we have modules like operational intelligence and marketing intelligence, where the data goes to the expert of those fields and we get inputs from them. And the beauty of the system is the data is always utilized for improving the performance.
And you say you have, this is now linked up with the whole network of Ramco plants. How many plants are there in the Ramco portfolio, and how important is it for them to be linked up? Are there great benefits to be had from being able to compare with each other?
Yeah. See, this is, as of now, I can tell we have 10 plants which are directly reporting to the corporate office, and these 10 plants are all interlinked, and the data, ERP data, is synergized and harmonized at corporate level. So there are experts there also. They can suggest, and we also ourselves can benchmark. The thing is, if some plants, suppose like I gave the idea of raw mill fan. So we had benchmarked our data with other plants. So earlier benchmark was something, then we found no, it can be improved further. Somebody has done it. So, okay, fine. Let us revise the target and do the improvements. But for this is what I was saying, that you need a digitally analyzed information which supports your decision-making power. So this is the advantage of our ERP, that it supports all the time your decision-making process.
Very good. And in terms of the development of the systems and the software, was that done by Ramco, or is it an external partner that you've worked with?
No, it is all developed at the Ramco Development Center. And if we get any orders, Ramco systems get any order, it is done by Ramco alone. We don't involve any third party for implementation also. The reason is that we are very choosy about the customer's satisfaction. Reason being that we do a lot of, as I had explained, we do a lot of a tailor-made customer-specific ERP systems. So we don't want to offload it to any third party. We always do ourselves, design the system in our network and implement by ourselves. No third party involved anytime.
And to what extent is this software automating the production process? Is it just feeding back information, or is it actually executing instructions?
This is what I had said when I was explaining Industry 4.0. So the decision making with the support of artificial intelligence for process control. That is the beauty of our ERP system. Because this Optima blending control system and other systems are integrated with our ERP. So this artificial intelligence gives support to the down the line operator who is running the plant and who is boggling down with so many parameters coming in. So there is a chances of human dependency and human related mistake. So that system takes care. If there is any process disturbance, system guides it, system takes corrective actions. So this is the beauty of the system.
Very good. Well, thank you very much for your presentation. It's been really interesting, very beneficial. I know that there have been quite a few questions in the questions and answer box. If you could, please take a look at them and you can answer them directly. It's the Q&A button that you'll see on your screen. And if anyone else has questions, that's the place to put them. And please let me know who you're asking, and then I'll try and direct them to the relevant speaker. But that's a great presentation. Thank you very much, Ashish. Please come back, and it would be great to hear more about the technology in more detail and about your plant as well. But that's all we have time for today from Ramco. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so next on up, we go for our second speaker, which is from Dirk Schmidt at Kima. Dirk, if you'd like to share your presentation now. Many of you will have heard Dirk speak before. He's a regular at Cemtech and has a great portfolio of solutions that he's going to draw on now in this presentation. He's a director at Kima Process Control, having started his career in 1990 with BFI Automation and later became head of sales at Office Combustion Engineering in Hamburg, Germany. In 2001, Dirk founded PowerTech Intelligent Technologies, offering combustion optimization solutions to the cement sector. He subsequently held several roles as sales director at well-known companies including Intercem Engineering, Hecco-Ketten, and Promicon, until 2015 when he became director of Kima Process Control. His core competence in process optimization is process optimization automation, based on innovative sensor developments and high-level control systems for industrial kilns and grinding units. And he's going to talk about Cement 4.0, when mill filling and gas flow becomes digital. So over to you, Dirk. Please.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Thank you for this introduction. I don't know if you can pin my screen to the full screen. Is that possible?
It is if people just hover over the picture of Dirk, you'll get an option to then just go down and pin his presentation, and that means that you won't miss any of the slides.
Correct. There are these three dots. If you click there and then you say expand or pin, then you see me on the entire screen. I hope that is working. And so, yeah, let me start with this presentation. First, I would like to take a note onto Ashish's presentation, which was a nice link to advanced process control, artificial intelligence use, and the use of instrumentation, that there is a mass flow of information for the operators where they are simply overflowed with information. And what we do with that, I will introduce in the next couple of minutes. Now, Ashish also said that 60 to 70% of costs in cement production is energy costs, especially in grinding and especially in fuels. And if you consider that, we have to take into account in future the carbon footprint. And the carbon footprint shown here for our, let me say, solutions, the Kima process way is to reduce this carbon footprint, especially by reduce of electric power consumption. We have a couple of projects and products for that, and plenty of customers knows us quite well from this electronic ears, SmartFill. I will speak about that today more in detail. SmartFill, this electronic ear for ball mills, is also usable for coal, very important also in coal-fired power plants, but especially also in the coal grinding of cement plants. The other products with a phenomenal carbon footprint is the kiln cooler, a cooling system for the kiln shell, which is instead of the air blowers who are producing the cooling air for the kiln shell. Here it is used a water mist, a controlled water mist, because we measure in the same time the temperature of the kiln surface. And here is a fundamental need, ladies and gentlemen, to reduce the energy which is blown really in heaven. We have here a new milestone of process optimization using this. I will show that at the end of my presentation. Finally, of course, we speak here about digitalization. And digitalization means control. Everything what can be measured can be controlled, but it depends on the quality of the measurement instrument first, and secondly, on the capability of the controller. And the capability of the controller in the last couple of years was developed by artificial intelligence. And please let me note that I was one of the introducers of artificial intelligence in the cement world at all. 1997, when we started off with combustion engineering, and later on Polytech Intelligent Technologies, we were really the first company introducing this technology to the market. Same like Kima Process, who jumped on later. However, I met this company later, and today I'm responsible here. Let me also speak short about the brand new system, Gas Temp and Gas Temp Flow. We see fundamental need of digitalization, which means instrumentation, which gives us more reliable information for artificial intelligence. Because if you only concentrate on artificial intelligence, it will not help, as maybe also Ashish have shown. I will give you an example in a couple of minutes later. Some of you know Kima. My company is Kima Process Control. There is another German company called Kima Automatisierung, and this is or Kima Automation. This is our sister company. And they provide consulting and engineering from MV switchgears, transformers, the entire electricity and control systems for entire cement plants, grinding, kiln, whatever you need. However, we as Kima Process Control do, surprise, surprise, process control. And our product is Smart Control. And here we are using artificial intelligence, AI. We are using and selecting individually which type of modules are the most beneficial in which application. And there is, of course, MPC, Model Predictive Control, using mathematical models to predict the one or other outcome of a process and to adjust the input, the entrance signals accordingly to reach the optimum, most beneficial, and to the best product quality. However, there's also NMPC, which is nonlinear model predictive control, which includes reinforcement learning. Nonlinear means that it is not that model which you once create. It is learning. It is adaptive. It is adapting to the process in view of wear, in view of changing materials, etc., etc. However, from my long period of experience, and we speak here about 25 years AI in the cement industry, I can promise you there are a lot of processes which until today cannot be controlled by model prediction as adaptive it should be. It is not possible. And that's why still the main producers, as we, the main suppliers, also still believe in advanced process control. And here in the beginning, we speak about rule-based expert systems, and the advantage of a so-called knowledge-based automation is relatively easy to say. The human experience and the human decision-making is not only based on a mathematical function or experience. There is sometimes also some thinking, some experience, and some mood inside. And this exactly you can store in fuzzy logics. However, each digital control system needs sufficient input signals, and input signals must be reliable. And on ball mills, for decades, microphones was used. What you see here is Smart Fill, and Smart Fill is a system which is installed on the mill body itself. This is, let me see, the core competence system behind the advanced process control of Kima Process Control. Smart Fill is a 360 degrees impact sound analysis. It listens inside the mill. It is installed on over 850 mills globally. Our references are boosting. We have certified customers all over the globe. As I said, 850 installations in more than 50 countries. And I would like to go now here in a presentation where we speak about digitalization, directly the way. Let us compare analog technologies by digital technologies. Analog is this microphone. This microphone was using sound directly from inside of the mill, listening inside and saying, okay, if it is noisy, then there is not much material between balls and liners. So, of course, this is a low level in your mill. Okay, the same microphone can also say and decide, okay, if it is dull, the sound is dull, there is a high level. So far, so well. These systems have a problem because they are learning this sound on a specific place of the mill. And we can't avoid that. Where? In balls and in liners. So this impact point of this analog measurement, of these balls is changing. So this analog measurement principle has a big problem. First, it listens to other mills from around. And second, theoretically, it should be moved to a new place where now the main impact point is happening. So better you install a system here directly on the mill body itself so that you can measure the 360 degrees complete turn of such a mill. We are doing this with special sensors. These are structure-borne sound sensors for chamber 1 and chamber 2 individually. And this gives us the opportunity to also adjust the mill. Adjusting the mill means we have a specific level in chamber 1 and in chamber 2 to reach a specific fineness of the product. Now, how does this digital system work? It works with this structure-borne sound sensor, and whenever the mill is now turning, the main impact point will be detected. Today, I would like to give you a short sound example. Listen to the next 3 short sound files, and then you will directly hear also the difference between an empty and a full mill. Listen. That was first. That is second. And this is third. You will have heard even that there is a big difference. And in the third measurement, you even hear single clicks of single balls. This is digitalization. Analog systems could maybe measure that, but they can't get it out. We can't make the necessary data evaluation like we do here with sound analysis, very high sophisticated and full automatic calibration modes. The advantage of such systems is also that you can listen into 2 mills in one building. You see that we have not 1 mill, we have 2 mills here, and both mills get the information by a radio signal from the mill to the receive unit, and from there we make the necessary computation in a base unit about the filling. But not only fill level measurement is important in ball mill optimization, especially the temperature between the 2 chambers is very interesting. A lot of people don't know that SmartFill has the temperature measurement included. And this means the temperature from the material leaving chamber 1, entering chamber 2. This is most crucial because this temperature must be in a certain window. If it is too hot here in the center of the mill, you are destroying and manipulating your gypsum. If it is too low, you maybe transport humidity from chamber 1 into chamber 2, and the material becomes sticky from this wet and dust, so that the grinding efficiency in chamber 2 drops on a not acceptable level. Now, for what is this SmartFill? As we said, it is an information, a reliable information, confronted to the operator. It is now available in the SCADA system, but what to do with it? Now, from digital measurement, we come to digital control. And smart control is directly integrated in the SCADA system. Our mill master and smart control system is integrated in the existing SCADA system, where you can simply switch on and off the autopilot, deactivate it or activate it for fresh feed or for separator speed. I jump a little bit through this visualization. I don't want to count too much on it. But in this presentation, we should concentrate that SmartFill gives so reliable and important information with this fill level in chamber 1 and in chamber 2, what you see here, that this is completely directly related to the cement type. So whenever you adjust fill level 1 to fill level 2, automatically you will reach the specific cement type. This is the adjustment of the mill, and we are very happy because this fill level offers us the opportunity to boost the production from a relatively non-harmonized fill level to an optimum and increased fill level. You remember maybe this is the same slide you have earlier seen from Ashish when he has spoken about advanced process control. This is advanced process control. First reducing the variation and then boosting the production to the maximum. Again, we are using in Kima process control various modules for MPC and fuzzy logics. And later when you download maybe this presentation, you can see that we have core regions where this specific modules will be used. Now I would like to come to a case study. You see here from Malaysia last year, one cement mill which we optimized completely remote. We speak about digitalization. Digitalization offers the opportunity also to share information from one place to another. Yes, from one side of the world to the other side of the globe. And we were able to start up a couple of mill masters within this pandemic, full autonomous, not full autonomous, full remote. That means without visiting the plants at all. We have certified results. Here, for instance, a plus of 6% more of production in Malaysia. We have also in Saurashtra cement in India improved from the variations. You see the smooth operation later, where we can say easily we have increased the production by plus 12 and plus 16%. And we have various other references which certifies really the result of this advanced process control of Millmaster. Now, however, within the last 12 months, we were asked not only to make mills, but also to optimize kilns. Now, you have seen how important reliable informations are from this machine which you want to optimize. And if you want to optimize in a modern cement plant, plus 5, plus 10% production, this is not an easy game. This is a challenging, I would not say competition. Unfortunately, sometimes it is a competition with customers, what I don't like. Come on, easy is autonomous operation and of course some production increase. However, if it comes to a kiln, you need other solutions of instrumentation. And over the last 5 years, Kima developed a system based on the wish of a big cement producer in the world who knocks on our door and asks, we need a reliable measurement of gas flow and gas temperature. We developed gas temp and gas temp flow. This product is a contactless acoustic measurement principle that can measure temperatures and gas flows on various applications of your pyro line, but also on the mill line. For instance, at the end of the vertical roller mill, the outlet gas. Now, here we concentrate short on the kiln line. Now we can measure downcomer temperature plus flow. What is so important on that? The precision. Usually you have a measurement instrument there today, which is delta P or Pitot tube, which has an accuracy, if you are lucky, plus minus 10%. For us as automation experts, this is more or less an approximation. If you want to optimize here something, the energy used from the ID fan, for instance, and you want to bring this energy down by 5 or 8%, how will you do that when the accuracy of your measurement system is plus minus 10%? Now, here is the answer, gas temp flow. Other applications are, for instance, the calciner exit temperature. Very important. In the calciner, more and more alternative fuels are burned, so it's crucial to understand what is the exit temperature and not to measure it slowly with a thermocouple. It is important to measure it fast, within a second. If something happens, a huge CO or other maybe malfunction comes out where we have to react. So, of course, tertiary air, which is the combustion air in the calciner. The flue gas stack, of course, flow and temperature. The bypass. If you have a waste heat recovery station, it would be interesting to understand how much gas and which temperature goes in and how much goes out. You can directly measure the enthalpy and the efficiency of this waste heat recovery station. Last but not least, the secondary air as well. A very challenging temperature because it was never possible to measure the secondary gas temperature pure, only the kiln hood temperature. I come to that in my picture later. Now, the acoustic pulse which we are using here is measured on one or on two measurement paths. If it measured just on one, we can measure the temperature. If we are using two receivers, we can measure the gas temperature and flow. How is this done? By sending a pulse, an acoustic pulse from the transmitter, and this pulse will be received from both receivers. One time against the gas stream and one time with the gas stream. Now, if we create such a pulse, we can measure by digital filters, digitalization, you remember, we can measure times. The time between the entire gas flow is the temperature. From transmitter to receiver 1 is the temperature. And the difference between, I jump short back, the difference between receiver 1 and receiver 2, this is the speed. Now we get the opportunity to measure a gas temperature fast. As I told you, this is very interesting at the exit of a calciner. Now, if you compare that to thermocouples, you see that the thermocouples understand that here is a temperature increase. With this gas temp, you see it 50 seconds earlier. And when the thermocouples sees there is a peak, you see that this peak is almost gone. So measuring fast and measuring precise is the key for optimization. Gas temp flow is installed on various downcomer installations. For instance, here in Germany on Heidelberg cement plant, in Enningerloh, you see here the normalized air volume or gas volume plus the temperature. We have a special installation in Dotternhausen with Holcim where we measure the gas temperature of the secondary air in the kiln hood. Now here you see the receiver on the one kiln hood side. On the other kiln hood side is the receiver. So we measure here the temperature below of the main burner flame and above the clinker run or flow. What is the advantage? A gas temperature is not affected by the heat radiation, by the infrared heat radiation of the clinker or the flame. And this gives us opportunities. Here you see, for instance, how sensitive this temperature is. Green is the kiln hood temperature on a thermocouple, and red is the very, very fast measurement which even detects when the shock blower is blasting into this gas and which effect it has. Now we can measure tertiary air. You see here the tertiary air in a plant in a 8 days plot in Wietersdorf in Austria, where Kima Process Control installed also the gas temp flow for downcomer, bypass, and for other measurements. And all of that is fitted directly in our Kiln Master, the advanced process control system, which is operating not here a mill, but complete autonomous a kiln. To come to the end of my presentation, I should show you 3 pictures of our kiln cooler, which has another big impact on energy efficiency in cement plants. You see the water mist nozzles alongside here of a kiln. This is a 30 meters kiln cooler, and you see always infrared pyrometers and water nozzles. The infrared pyrometer gives in the CCR room directly the temperature, and where you have this black boxes, there only the system is water spraying. So not over the entire time spraying, spraying, spraying. As you can see it here in this small video on the left-hand side, the system is only cooling on demand. Ladies and gentlemen, more information is not to give within a presentation of 20 minutes, but a lot of information you can earn on our website, www.kima-process.de. For me, it was a pleasure to speak about efficiency, digitalization in cement plants, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation as I enjoyed the opportunity to speak today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dirk. That was a fascinating journey through these different products that you have for the ball mills first, and then, like as you said, for the downcomer, and the different, the speed of measurement being really important, especially with people burning more alternative fuels. Is that something that's driving the popularity of that product?
Absolutely. I can tell you that the interest after my couple of first presentation last year when we started that there will be something. I remember we make it together on the first Cemtech last year in 2021. I have given some initial ideas about the product, and the interest is phenomenal. Sometimes not the gas flow, even the temperature measurement at the exit of the calciner is so important because thermocouples are much too slowly here, and are limited in the opportunity of boost the use of alternative fuels.
So that's one to bear in mind if you are burning alternative fuels. The Smart Fill is an interesting piece of kit. In terms of installing it, how difficult is that? You talked about the remote commissioning, which is interesting as well, but just the actual physical installation, how much downtime do you need for that?
The mill must be stopped just for, let me say, 1 hour. In this 1 hour, you can bring on the mill itself the sensors, and this on-mill unit in this shoe box, as I always say, is an energy generator, a power generator who gives enough power to submit the raw signals from the sensors to a receive unit. However, 1 hour is enough. A big booklet. I mean, I'm always smiling because we are a German company, and we Germans are very well known for good operational manuals, usually. SmartFill has something like that, and we introduced these systems and make remote commissionings, for instance, with Lafarge and Holcim since 15 years on a remote basis. It's very easy to install.
So you can actually install it yourself. The producer can install it. You'll send over the kit and the instructions on how to do that. And then the commissioning can be done remotely. Very good.
Exactly. And there is also a digital advantage. You can download the raw signals with your IPC or laptop from the IPC of the system, send it to Germany. We make the calibration and we resend back a complete calibration file, which you only upload and start the system, and it's working.
And the calibration, is that, how often do you have to recalibrate? When you change the charge in the mill, or?
Correct. If you change completely the bolts, it's necessary. If you only re-add some bolts, it's not necessary. So typically you have to make a calibration. Our recommendation is once per year. And this is really also what we get back from the customers.
And integrating it into the overall plant systems, how does that happen?
Most easy. We have a standard in Kima process. Also the gas temp, the Smart Fill, is always 4 to 20 milliampere signals, so that we are independent from any kind of bus systems or so. And so it's very easy to integrate in SCADA systems or in DCSs.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much again, Dirk. That's an excellent presentation. We'll be sending around the slides after the meeting if anyone wants to follow up on that. And you'll have all of Dirk's contact details too. So great. Thank you very much to Dirk. And on we move now to Carsten Horn, who I see is here waiting to deliver his presentation. If you'd like to share your slides, Carsten. Carsten is Senior Business Manager, Business Development for Inform Logistics Division based in Germany. With nearly 25 years in IT and logistics, Carsten knows that digital transformation is a journey, not a destination. In his current role at Inform, he has found a unique way for cement and ready-mix producers to embark onto the road of AI and net zero in logistics. Based in Germany, he's currently a digital sales nomad and serves clients around the globe. So welcome, Carsten, and over to you for your presentation.
Thank you very much, Thomas, for the kind introduction. So the previous presenter, Dirk Schmidt from Kima Process, showed us how AI can help cement producers to optimize their production processes. Well, some of you might know me from previous presentations at cemtech events, where I usually talk about how AI can help cement producers to optimize their supply chains. And if we remember the first presentation today, where Ashish Kumar already pointed out the importance of skilled workforce for quality excellence, and whether we use AI in production or AI in supply chains, humans, they are and they always will be a key element in any optimization effort. But their roles will be shifting away from mundane tasks focusing more on higher level problems that technology isn't yet capable of automating. And when we talk about shifting, this brings me right to the topic that I would like to focus on in my presentation today. This is how AI can help cement producers to optimize the shift planning of their workforce. Okay, let's get into gear. In the old days, shifting gears was really hard work, because back then commercial trucks, they came with this unsynchronized manual transmissions, and the drivers had to use a method called double clutching to prevent damage to the vehicle's gearbox during shifting. And it took some timing and practice, and it came at the expense of some really extra work for your left leg. Today, pedal shifters let drivers shift their vehicle's gears electronically. And even in heavy goods vehicles, auto shift transmissions are commonplace. So changing gears requires virtually no effort at all. However, when it comes to manage shift work, well, many manufacturers, companies, they still use old technology that is neither suited to synchronize the competing interest of employee needs and operational objectives, nor provide the planning comfort or intuitive logic of the latest workforce management tools. And this often results in expensive overtime, non-productive idle times, lower employee morale, poor customer service, and which actually is the worst case, loss of production. So failing to adequately schedule your workforce, that can become extremely costly in the long run. More than, meanwhile, 30 years after its debut, Excel spreadsheets, they are still an important cog in the wheel of many cement producers. And it is no secret that workforce planners and accounting professionals, they are among the most loyal users of iconic spreadsheet programs. Well, yes, these spreadsheets, they are easy to configure and they allow you to analyze data or run macros to automate calculations. But hey, let's face it, they are tools of the late 1980s. And over the past 30 years, technology has advanced dramatically. So it does not come as a surprise that AI algorithms, they outperform spreadsheets and all the other legacy systems by means of speed, productivity, and financial performance. And before we'll review some potential application areas and benefits within the cement industry, let's take a look under the hood to explore the basic AI technology that powers the latest workforce management tools. Not all gearboxes are built the same, and that is why there's a myriad of different and sometimes pretty confusing brand names out there. And the same applies to workforce management, rostering, staff scheduling, employee logistics, shift planning, resource planning. Almost every organization has a different term and approach to this. Employee logistics, however, well, that in my opinion is quite a fitting term, since the latest workforce management tools, they're based actually on the same technology that has been deployed in the building materials industry for, meanwhile, over 2.5 decades to optimize the use of logistics assets. And that is called operations research, or in short, OR, and artificial intelligent algorithms. In the mid of the 1990s, Redlands in France, which is now Holcim, they were an early adopter in the aggregates and ready-mix business. And a couple of years later, Hanson Australia, which is now part of Heidelberg Cement Group, they followed. And both, they have been using algorithms, real-time information, plus automated decision-making to run their fleet of trucks ever since. But even if there's a large number of petrol heads among your workforce, the human specs are quite different compared to trucks and all the other logistics assets. Because while the logistical processes of a cement producer, they're usually programmed into the transport optimization software, the workforce management tools, they need to be more flexible to accommodate the requirements of human assets. With the so-called deductive intelligence, or in short, DI, the representable logic and the structure of these tools remain quite flexible. And this allows experts to easily formulate requirements without touching the programming level. Deduction, that is an important area of artificial intelligence, and many AI systems, they rely on deduction to solve problems, because with this top-down logic, conclusions are reached by applying general rules to observations. Or as the Greek philosopher Aristotle, which is considered by many to be the father of deductive reasoning, would say, all cars with manual transmission have a gear stick. My car has a gear stick. Therefore, my car has a manual transmission. So workforce management tools equipped with DI technology, they enable the planners to easily weigh factors according to their priorities. For example, by costs, service level, shift ergonomics, or employee satisfaction. And keeping this unique technology in mind, let's review some potential application areas and benefits within the cement industry. So let's start with example number 1, the centralized shift work planning. When you get to work by car with an electronic automatic transmission, there's a great deal of digital intelligence working underneath the gear stick, because the central control unit is constantly collecting vehicle data, and by evaluating information about speed, acceleration, road grade, and torque demand, it applies extreme precision to every shift. In contrast to that, shift scheduling in the cement industry, well, is often managed by local teams within their specific departments. Some are lucky enough to have an ERP system to support them, but actually many still rely on Microsoft Excel or even pen and paper. And this silo approach, this has its limitation, including the fact that shift leaders are experts in their field of expertise, but usually lack the time and skills to create optimized shift schedules. A centralized tool equipped with DI technology that can analyze a larger range of variables than the human mind is able to, which then results in better overall decision quality. And what's more, it can include all different work groups within the organization, for example, maintenance, manufacturing, research and development, and customer service center. Plus, it finds the best possible balance for all legal, operational, and individual requirements. But centralized scheduling, well, that does not stop at the gate. It can span over several cement plants, quarries, depots, terminals, and integrate other vehicles like concrete batching plants. Again, transport planning in our industry can serve as an example, because centralized planning has been an integral part of the truck fleet optimization cases that I mentioned earlier, and driving synergies and unlocking value across all corners of the business. So let's move on to example number 2, the flexible shifts. Big companies, they are like fully loaded trucks. They are slow to accelerate, lack maneuverability, and they often struggle to keep up with the pace of change. In short, the larger the business, the slower the movement. And traditionally, many cement producers, they use rigid shifts and simple rotating patterns. For example, week 1, we do an early shift, week 2, midday shift, and week 3, night shift. I mean, the rotating shifts, they're popular among shift managers since they can be managed easily by the spreadsheet tools. However, they do not cater for the shifting needs of a younger workforce generation. Because think about, by 2025, so only a couple of years ago away from now, millennials will make up 75% of the global workforce. And our industry, they need to find ways to be attractive for this digital savvy generation. Because one thing they take for granted, and that are flexible schedules that help them to achieve a healthy work-life balance. But flexible shifts, they are a pure nightmare for any shift planner. But with software tools based on AI, more granular start, break, and finish times can be assigned to each individual worker. And keeping, on the other side, the overall staffing at an optimized level and in sync with targeted production goals. And that brings us to example number 3, the seasonal planning. When the temperatures drop below 0, shifting gears can become really tough, just because due to the higher viscosity of the transmission fluid. And what's even worse, this may also result into higher wear and tear of the components. And workforce schedulers in the cement industry, they are confronted with a similar problem. When temperatures drop, lost time due to employees calling in sick will just go the other direction. It will rise. But actually, warm weather also places its challenges onto the workforce planning process. Because a summer vacation schedule that really everyone can live with, that's quite hard to find. I mean, the legal position on this is clear. In most countries, cement producers are legally entitled to restrict annual leave for their staff, for example, at high peak periods. And they can also tell their employees to take leave at certain times, for example, at a planned kiln or plant shutdown. But if you look beyond these legal guidelines, the key priority for any employer should be to ensure that they find a fair and a consistent solution for everyone involved, and which then also meets the staffing requirements and shift demands. The dilemma starts with finding a consensus on which criteria vacation requests will be approved or denied. Seniority, for example, where long-term employees get a first pick of the most wanted days or weeks, that is a classic example. Or if you look at the employees with school-aged children, they might have a higher priority during official summer holidays. I mean, you cannot please everyone, but a software tool powered by AI allows you to add more constraints to the calculation, for example, social factors, and it provides a higher level of transparency at the same time. And our final and, well, probably the most important example, evaluating shifts. Truck drivers, they are monitored more than any other worker out there. So nearly every truck nowadays has an electronic logging device, also called e-log, which is installed on their engine, which automatically records the driver's hours of service. An e-log cannot be tampered with, and it provides full transparency between the drivers, haulers, and shippers. But in manufacturing environments, time and attendance systems, they are used to track when employees start or stop their work or take a break. And some systems also allow to record the type of work they carried out. And time recording data need to be managed and evaluated to process the payroll. Shift work with its many different allowances and premiums, however, well, that is quite prone to inaccuracies. Add overtime or paid overtime compensation to it, and there's enough reason for workers to throw a spanner into the payroll works. And payroll errors, they can be very costly and time-consuming to rectify. And what's more, just one single mistake can erode trust. So connecting the workforce management tool and the payroll software, that helps to reduce the amount of work required for the time evaluation process. And this approach allows to automatically assess and correct deviations that fall within a specific tolerance range. And only cases outside this tolerance range, they need to be evaluated by the payroll accountant, while the system takes care of all the routine work. And this brings us to the end of this presentation. So in today's data-driven world, artificial intelligence is not limited to supply chain and production processes. It also impacts the global workforce and its capabilities. And instead of clinging to aging processes and tools, be it in workforce or supply chain management, transformation is needed for cement producers to survive. So to help you embark onto the road to AI, we've put together some additional information. Just go to inform-software.com/road to AI, or just scan the barcode on this slide. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Carsten. A really novel perspective of the industry, different from your usual presentation. And I think the first time that I've heard anything about managing workforces in relation to the cement industry, and it's a really fresh collection of insights and very important. I mean, absolutely essential. We often in the cement industry forget about everything that happens once the factory gate has been crossed. But also, it's also about inside and as you say, the shift patterns that are adopted and the way that it's been done, the Excel 1980s version of doing business, and then the flexibility of AI and more sophisticated systems. So I think, you know, the transparency that they bring, you talked about, you know, fairness, but also accommodating needs of a changing workforce. And it's really interesting to imagine that 75% of the workforce in a few years' time will be millennial.
Yeah.
It's quite a shift. It's quite something that. And as you mentioned and as you point out, they have different needs and mindsets. So it'll be fascinating to see how this develops. To check out your resources on the website. Is this quite a new area for Inform? I mean, I guess you're you're immersed in it anyway through the work that you do with the logistical planning.
Yeah, actually, it's not that new because we done especially this whole rostering, shift planning, and so on from our aviation department. I think they're doing this for the last 20 or 25 years already, but over the last couple of years, the importance of this whole topic just swapped also to the other industries because they are all actually faced with the same problems. They need to find good people, skilled people, like Ashish mentioned before. If you want to do excellent work, you need to have the right people on board, and you not only have to find them, you also have to keep them in your company, and therefore, especially where you have to work in shifts, we think that it's getting more and more important in today's world. And if you look at all the industries which are really struggling at the moment to find people or resources, human resources to kind of restart their business, I think it is maybe more important than we probably think it is.
Yeah, and do you find that there's a greater retention? I mean, do the companies using this software see quite noticeable improvements by managing their shifts differently? I mean, is there any kind of evidence of the impact on a workforce management?
Absolutely. I mean, especially if you talk about industries where you have peak times. So, I mean, construction materials industry, usually when it is summer, you have your peaks, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can hire thousands of more people just for this couple of months. So you need to have a tool in place which supports this workforce planning, if you like, to make sure that you get along the best way you can with your existing people that you have on board.
Very good. Well, thank you once again, Carsten. Really stimulating and an important presentation. Appreciate your time today.
Thanks for being here.
We'll move now on to our next fourth and final presentation. I'm delighted to be able to welcome Sabine Meyer, Marketing and International Sales at Axians, a company that works quite closely actually with Inform in various logistical areas. Sabine is responsible for marketing and international sales, and since completing her studies has worked in the automation industry. At Axians, she is responsible for sales and marketing, company communications, as well as organizational and corporate development. Her role focuses especially on digitization and transformation solutions, and a big part of that is also the sustainability agenda. Warm welcome to you, Sabine. I can see your slides. Please go ahead.
Hello all together. Very great that you are with us. Let me start with a small introduction of our company. So, in a world of constant changes, Vinci is focused on performance, connections, energy efficiency, and the role of new technologies, and to support two major changes. The digital transformation and the energy transition. With their strong regional roots, agile and innovative, Vinci Energy's business units boost safety and efficiency of energy, transport and communication infrastructure, factory buildings and information systems. And what is the Axians? Axians is the ICT brand of Vinci Energies. Axions support customers from private to public sector companies in their infrastructure and digital solution development. As Axions Group, we offer a big range of IT solutions and services with data analytics, enterprise networks, and digital workspace, also with cloud services and cybersecurity. In addition, Axions offers consulting, integration, and maintenance services and support you to find a successful digital transformation solution for your business. Here you can see where we are located worldwide. In detail, I'm a member of the business unit Axions Industrial Application and Services. This team is part of the Vinci Energy brand Axions that I showed before. Our core business is the development and rollout of process-oriented logistics solutions for the raw material worldwide, mainly in the field of yard management, automation and digitalization, in particular using the self-service solution VIS for dispatch and shipping automation. This includes all related services, hardware components, and customer services worldwide. From the truck arrival over the registration, through entry weight, the complete loading process, exit weighing, and electrical delivery papers, all can be done by the VIS solution on a digital way. Now let us start with automation and digitalization. The IT infrastructure in companies has been grown for years and is therefore often very complex. This is an issue when things have to be done quickly. Spreading updates or managing applications throughout a large number of servers can be a time-consuming work which easily can be automated. Completely overqualified IT employees often tap their fingers sore for this. Write emails, try remote support, and so on. You notice? Then IT automation can help you. With IT that manages and improves itself. Sounds this good for you? It's not an email agent that informs you about your office off times and your churns that I'm speaking about. When it comes to automation, we are thinking about infrastructure automation in a general sense. We are speaking from servers, storages, networkers, virtual machines, up to testing and rollout of new software versions. In the industrial environment, we make a difference between RPA and BPA applications. RPA stands for Robotic Process Automation. This is a special software that is used by humans to interact with computers and applications, for example, with command line tools. These are little robots called bots that can automate the clicking and moving of data for humans. This is important if you want to integrate systems with each other. BPA stands for Business Process Automation. The focus here is on automation processes, business processes, and automating the underlying IT infrastructure. Here we understand IT infrastructure automation and software development automation as basis of all others. new focus and new challenges. Automation has, of course, been in the future for a long time, thinking at the assembly lines in the automobile production, the production lines since Henry Ford. However, what really accelerated this is the introduction of virtualization around 2005, I think. And now, of course, the advent of the cloud technologies. The public cloud, which enables a completely different type of IT. Of course, the most tremendous acceleration comes to the COVID pandemic time, clear. Companies have been thinking about the automation and their business processes since a long time. Perhaps they have already their digitalization and transformation concepts in their drawer and have already thought about digitalization and their internal processes, raising the added value in order to use them for themselves as well as the digitized giants such Amazon are these already demonstrated it. Be sure companies like you see everything should actually go much faster. Although there's probably much available for IT at the moment, but the company would like to deliver more and more. Clear, your focus is profitability and efficiency. And with this, you are our driver. Here, you have to be careful that to keep an eye on the current shortage of skilled workers because automation fries up resources again, which can then take care of high quality services as part of the digitalization projects. Standardized tasks, for example, can easily be digitized. The shortage of skilled workers in Germany is at the moment really dramatically. We have currently more than 12% vacancies than last year in the IT sector. We mainly missing IT project managers and IT administrators in data science analysts. This is a fairly new profession, I know, but it's already being sought by many companies without success. Let us look at another scenario. A company has central application in the backend that provide users remote central desktop applications and also central infrastructure. This situation can be found in all companies today and can be implemented on the basis of private as well as public cloud. And now there's an update from the manufacturers of an application or operating system. And a new patch has to be installed, for example, a security patch, a security fix. And you have a large number of servers in the company, perhaps worldwide, and you want to roll out your path quickly. In order not to have to handle this update manually, you can do this with an automation tool, with automated rollback scripts or programs for the situation that something goes wrong. Here you have the opportunity to automate and standardize to a high degree, and of course, you can now roll it out very quickly. What is often very important in critical situations to interact quickly and without error. For example, when it comes to the need of a security patch rollout, perhaps across different time zones, perhaps worldwide, because as faster the gaps and weak points on the systems can be closed, the better it is for the company. and you are safe against hackers. There are already corporations that have come a long way in their digital transformation business. However, this should never be seen as closed process with only one goal. Rather, automation is an ongoing process in which the surrounding systems and tools as well as external influences such as politics or tax regulations are constantly changing. Of course, the automation process, which also goes hand in hand with the digitalization of your own internal processes, must follow a clear plan just for you. But it should never be based on a major goal set in the past. It is much more important to be happy about small, quick wins on your path in the future, in course of conversation that has already been made and about further successfully implementation steps in the company own transformation situation. Please think we have to celebrate these step for step quick wins during the running digitalization process. Have to be shown to your employees, show them that boring jobs can be automated, specialized jobs that they have to do numerously during the week can be done by automation much more easier. Maybe you offer as much as possible in self-service. This frees time for interesting things and activity for each employee. Also, this includes, of course, work instructions that point digitally to the system, which are already continuously adjust this in a process and not static. The main advantage here is also the reduction of errors. The process has been tested and rolled out, and the machine will produce exactly what is in the playbook. This reduces downtimes of your systems in the event of the maintenance. The abstraction layer will continue to be raised, so more can be transferred to the specialized departments. Automation will continue to accelerate here, and dynamic scenarios must be integrated more and more. So what is the new normal? The new normal, our new world, is hybrid. Not only in choosing your car drive, but also in the working world. The classic work with a fixed seat in the office and on your own chair is a thing of the past. We have learned to work remotely with our colleagues efficiently and in a timely manner. We have learned to live agility in a new way. The self-organization and the self-motivation are the main factors here. Meetings and conversations at the coffee corner are no longer exist. Now we have to decide for ourselves where and when we do work. When and how we meet someone remotely or in real life in the office must be discussed and coordinated with colleagues. This requires a significant higher degree of self-organization, but also more trust from the management in the individual employees to successfully live in a higher degree of self-responsibility. But what is a safe invest? This new type of business organization is different from the early company forms before. In the past, in order to be able to plan the delivery of goods and services, the trusts were the first organization form to be founded because it was found that it was not enough to engage people on an hourly basis. This is how trusts come about as places to meet colleagues and to follow a fixed company order. But how much trust place of trust, a company really need? How much trust points does a team need in order to be able to act successfully and efficiently? This is different from company to company. Depending on the life cycle of a company, different decisions must be made as to how to meet each other in terms of frequency, or on which platform. Maybe we can also meet in a webinar like this one here today. And in any case, the new normal encourages and demands much more human creativity. In order to continue to be successful, we have to live more creativity, curiosity, and also own flexibility. This is the main challenge and effort for each individual to be successful in the new normal. Trust in your employees, trust in the future, and be prepared for this. We will support you to find an individual digitalization way for your company. Let us work together for your automation and digitalization vision for your company that we can realize step by step in a reachable, financeable way based on your available resources. We are sure this will be a safe and efficiency investment for you. Many thanks for your listening.
Thank you very much, Sabine, for your presentation.
Thanks.
And yes, it's clearly an area of great change and very profound changes in our industry with digital transformation. And one of the key products that we've known for a while and that keeps evolving and delivering is the VAS technology from Axians, allowing the interface between the drivers and the dispatch station. It's really one of the go-to products. Is it developing further? Even when it first came out, it was one of the first of its kind, I believe, to be used in the industry for that automation of the dispatch systems. Is there more progress and development going into this product?
It is really. We are starting this year with our new modules, with a new suite, the EIS suite. It's based on the cloud technologies, and we will provide then all our modules based on the cloud technology. Then we are able to install each module for its own and without the big solution to need it in the bag. So we are also ready for the cloud technologies and also ready for the future.
And in terms of the installations, is there a specific region in the world where it's more popular, and is it applicable to any cement plant anywhere?
All customers are important for us, be sure. And we are, at the moment, we are focused on Europe, Saudi Arabia, Asia, and we are really happy and open for each other company and country we are working for. At the moment, we are installed in over 20 countries worldwide.
Very good. Well, again, thank you, Sabine, for your presentation. We'll be circulating it afterwards, and be sure to check out VAS. It's a very popular, very effective software, and it fits very well with Inform's activities in terms of logistical planning for fleets and the distribution of cement.
Inform is our partner. They are really a great team with really great, they do a great job, and they are looking for the optimizations of the optimization out of the yard, and we do the optimization inside of the yard. So we are not competitors. We are working strongly together, and we are both focused to find the optimized and the most efficient solution for our customers.
Thank you very much, Sabine, and thanks to all the presenters today. Ashish Kumar from Ramco, Dirk Schmidt from Chemo Process Control, Carsten Horn from Inform, and as I've just said, Sabine Meyer from Axians. We'll be back soon. That's all from International Cement Review and Cemtech for today. Be sure to check the Global Cement Report out if you're involved in business planning or require statistics from over 170 countries, then this is the publication for you. More information on our website, but there's a big discount for ICR subscribers. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. Do keep in touch. Come and join us for Cemtech MEA in a few weeks. Otherwise, we'll see you in a month at our next Cemtech Live monthly webinar. That's all for today. Stay safe, and thank you for watching.
Many thanks to all.
Thank you.
You've called